Hey, love riders, it's me, Lois, and I'm here to talk about that gosh darn Martell Holt. I'm talking about him because I want to talk about him. It's just that simple. All commentary is alleged, in my opinion, with some actual and factual. And I do have some talking points that I'd like to go over with you guys. From the start, the fallout of control and the consequences for Martell Holt's actions, okay? So we're gonna start with number one, which is his infidelity that he's been carrying on for years. Okay, he literally cheated for. Some of us speculate, alleged, in my opinion, with some actual and factual, that he cheated half of his marriage. I'm gonna go with that narrative because for some reason he keeps making up excuses for why he did it because Melody cheated. But okay, we're gonna go with that too. Melody cheated. We're gonna listen to all the lies that he said Melody did and pretend we believed them, because y'all know we don't believe nothing that man say, nothing that come out of his mouth, his mama mouth, Ariane's mouth, and none of his damn friends, except maybe Marcel, because Marcel will tell the truth once his back is up against the wall, but the rest of them, fuck them in the nuts. Okay. And then he allowed his concubine of 300 years to continuously disrespect his then wife at the time. He did absolutely nothing about it. She was just supposed to sit around and wallow in self-pity and say, woe is me, my husband's cheating on me. And if I want to show him how much I love him, I just need to sit here and take this bullshit. Which she did. Because she wanted to give the marriage an opportunity to work itself out. She gave him ultimatums, she gave him suggestions, she gave him solutions to how they could come back to them. But knowing him, he said, no, I can't keep it in my pants, so I'm going to do what I want to do. Plus, I'm the man. I'm the man. Come to find out he really ain't the man. Melody was the man all along in a woman's body, but that's another story for another time. And then let's talk about his actions and not only being deceitful and betraying his marriage vows to his wife at the time, Melody Shari. The fact that he wanted to be allegedly ABUSIVE towards her emotionally, physically, financially, alleged, and in my opinion with some actual and factual. Okay, he wanted to do all these things, and he wanted everybody to think that it was her fault because she did it. She stayed because she loved that man and she believed in the sanctity of marriage, so she stayed with that. Yeah, y'all know what I want to say, but y'all know I ain't gonna say it because that ain't what I'm about. But he started isolating her from friends, their so-called friends, but we already know Melody's true friends stuck with her. They stood beside her. And you know what? During this journey, she made some new true blue friends on her own. She didn't need his funky friends. He can keep his funky friends because his funky friends don't even like him, okay? Nan one of them like him. Not near one of them, okay? And that other little thing, that Destafoni thing, she don't know if she like him or she don't. She probably like but don't like the man that's wearing the. You dig what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about, alleged, and in my opinion, with some actual and factual. So she tried to isolate her from everybody. He kept her at home or sitting behind the desk doing the business while he was out and about running the damn streets, doing what he wanted to do, stopping by severally to see this concubine that he was sexing and having out of wedlock babies and so forth and so on, and her getting ABs and all that other nonsense severally in their, I don't want to call it a relationship, in their affair, because it was not a relationship. It's an affair. It's still an affair, because although he is no longer married to Melody, he has not committed himself to his concubine, okay? If you imploded your entire marriage for this woman, then you should have been man enough to stand up and say, okay, you mine, I'm going to put a ring on it. But you didn't, because you are sorry, in my Bernie Mac voice. That's all I got to say about that. Then he decided that he wanted to be a real DICK about everything. And he wanted to talk crap about her and everything. So when she decided, I'm going to go ahead and think about getting a divorce because you're not showing me any type of new behavior. Every time we talk about coming back to where we should be, you start doing extra. You start being extra. So, of course, a couple of times she did go see the attorney. She threatened divorce, so forth and so on. So he gonna get a little attitude like a little girl, okay? Alleging, in my opinion, with some actual and factual. And start pouting, talking about, well, I don't want to do business with you no more, okay? Do you mind if we record this? Because I want to make sure all this is on record, just in case you come back and say you didn't say that. Because we know Martell's good for saying he didn't say something when they could pull a clip at any time and tell him that he said just what he said he didn't say. Y'all know how that man is. He will lie in your face, okay? He will lie, okay? So they sat there, they dissolved the businesses, and then he had the nerve to say he deserved 50% of a business that he didn't have a nickel or quarter in. He don't even know how she got the contacts and the connections that she got to start Embrace Beauty. But he felt that he deserved 50% of it. So she said, okay, we're going to dissolve that too. And then his punk ass decided that he wanted to not allow his children to be on television anymore because if he couldn't be part of Melody's greatness, neither could they. Let's be real clear. They're already part of her greatness because they're children, you dumbass, okay? They came from her greatness. Hello? Woosah, all right? They came from her greatness. So they are already part of greatness. So you can't stop their bag, dude, just by not allowing them to be on TV. They still gonna be great kids, okay? And then, he expected her to fall. You ain't gonna be nothing without me, alleging, in my opinion. You can't do it. You can't build the house. You can't do. All I gotta say is, get your builder's license, Martell. Did you get your builder's license? How many times have you taken this test already? Literally, probably at least 15 or 20 times that you've taken this test and you still have not passed. And she passed on the first go round. And even after you broke up, she passed right away. Get your builder's license before you talk. Because we know how you like to take people's money, alleged, and in my opinion, with some actual and factual, and not pay them back. Or not do the work that you were paid to do. We know how you roll, okay? So get your builder's license before you talk crap. So while this man was expecting our girl to fall and wallow in self-pity, he didn't forgot. She done been through all that already. She did all that during the marriage. So I don't know if y'all remember R. Kelly's song, When a Woman is Fed Up. When she say, okay, or whatever, got you, solid, or bet, she done. She is emotionally, physically, mentally, and everything else done with your ass, okay? And Melody Cherie was done. So there was not going to be any more wallowing in self-pity and crying behind closed doors and none of that, because she had did all of that while she was trying to make it work. So once she was ready to go, she made the decision to leave and leave everything behind, including you and your sorry ass, okay? And then, while she was rising and carrying on, this fool decided, well, I'm going to tie her up in the court system, you know, about these kids and about a bunch of other shit that ain't got nothing to do with the fact that I actually cheated on this woman. I imploded my entire marriage for a piece of ass that I still haven't put a ring on, and I'm still sucking on, alleged in my opinion, with some actual and factual. I'm going to tie her up in the courts. I'm going to keep her in the courts for years because she ain't going to be putting my kids on TV and she ain't going to be doing this with my kids. Yet and still, he don't really want to be bothered with his own kids because every time he get his kids, he dropping them off at mama house or somebody else's house, alleged in my opinion, while he talking about she had 20 babysitters. And if she did have 20 babysitters, rest assured, they were your people. They weren't her people. She has a village. She has a village of people that will help her with her children. But you don't want that either because they're your kids. And it's a possibility that some kindness and some goodness may rub off on them because Lord knows they're not getting it from you. Okay. And then you continue to lie on her and talk about infidelity after the divorce. And it's like, nowhere before that did we hear that. You had literally said that you didn't think she was cheating. No, she wouldn't do that, so forth and so on. But the minute the papers were signed, well, she cheated too. When she left the apartment, or when she stayed at that hotel, or when she went out of town for business, alleged, and in my opinion was actual and factual. Now all of a sudden she cheating. You caught her on the phone with the attorney supposedly that she was cheating with, which I don't believe, because you said she fell asleep, and I'm sure she fell asleep, her phone timed out, and you couldn't get in that mofo. So stop lying. Okay, but that's neither here nor there. You just started making up lies, pulling shit out your ass, saying that she was doing stuff that you know wasn't true. And it's like you had to keep doubling and tripling and quadrupling down on your lies so that you can believe them yourself, and you can make your so-called friends, because like I said, they ain't your real friends, believe the lies that you was telling. And then you started the stalking and the harassing and the showing up at places and interfering in her business, the TV show she was doing, and everything that she had going on for her. You just start popping up. And part of the reason I think you was popping up is because you were at that point trying to intimidate her and preventing her from being great. But it didn't work. It's never gonna work. When you play dirty, it ain't gonna work, bruh. It ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? And then you want to get mad and you want to start throwing a tantrum. And so now you start accusing your friends of doing the same thing that you did. And the fact that their marriages haven't imploded, maybe because they cheated better than you did, alleged, in my opinion, with some actual and factual. Maybe they have more experience in this. And maybe they've checked their wives. It could be a whole bunch of maybes going on, alleged, and in my opinion, with some actual and factual. But the fact of the matter is you lost, bruh. You lost. You lost a class act. You lost someone who could have elevated you to the highest point of elevation, and you couldn't see the forest for the trees because you was around there licking some concubine's funky ass. Yes, I said that in America. I said that in public, and I said that on reality TV YouTubery. Okay? I said what I said, and I ain't taking it back because I meant it. Okay? You're walking around bitter, so bitter to the point that you're hating your children. These are products of your love at the time with the woman you were married to. These are your seeds, and you're walking around hating on your children, and especially Tank. Because I ain't going to call him Boop 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 Jr., okay? He going to be Tank until I figure out another name for him, okay? Well, once Melody give me permission to call him something else besides Jr., okay? Because this young man has stepped up to be the man that you could never be to his mother throughout your entire marriage. And you are jealous of your own child. You're jealous because he is showing you how mama should be loved, how his family should be loved, how his siblings should be loved, how his friends and acquaintances should be treated and loved. You couldn't do none of those things because if people didn't agree with you, if people didn't agree with you, then you just went on a whole tantrum tour. And now look at you. You're looking sorry than a broke dick dog. You look sorry. Real sorry. You know what I'm saying? You walking around here still trying to convince us that Melody Shari cheated. Mind you, she has moved on and moved on up, and she's done several things that you could never touch with a 12-foot pole. Never mind a 10-foot pole. With a 12-foot pole. She's winning awards, accolades, getting write-ups in magazines and so forth. And the only magazine you could get a write-up in is, okay, he may be appearing somewhere. And that's it. But even with that, you're still jealous. You're jealous and you're hateful You're really hateful because with the stalking around the courthouse and the stalking around everywhere else that you're doing with this woman, she ain't never coming back to you. You are never, ever, ever getting back together with Melody Shari Rodgers, Martell Holt. So the sooner you realize this, the sooner you can move on and go on and marry that thing that you laid down with to implode your entire marriage. And last but not least, your legacy is ruined. Your legacy is fucked up. You have absolutely nothing to leave to your children except your arrogant, ignorant, narcissistic ass behavior. That is it. What Melody Shari is creating is a legacy, okay? And the legacy is for her children and not for you. And you can't stand that. You can't stand the fact that she is creating something better than she had with you. Well, I'm okay with that. Yay! I'm okay with that. Okay, yes, y'all. I just wanted y'all to know how I felt about this sorry piece of a man, this small pimple of a man who is walking around here trying to intimidate something, and he gonna fuck around and he gonna end up behind bars, or he gonna step up on the wrong dude, and it's gonna be over. That's all I got to say. Y'all get down in these comments and tell me what you think about this video. I know it's been a long time since I've been on the internet. I'm still on the internet, but I'm doing it at my own pace and in my own time. Because right now, the money isn't important as the engagement and being able to talk to you guys how I'd like to talk to you guys and get you to understand where I'm coming from. Okay, and I know y'all see I cut my hair. I didn't get my sides cut this week, but you know I got the new locks last week, and they were a little heavy. And y'all know my hair's already thinning and stuff, so they were pulling. The more days I wore them, they were pulling more. So I just took to the scissors and clipped them off. Yes, my hair is uneven, but I'm still cute as hell. And that's it. So y'all please get down in these comments, like, share, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think about the video. Let's get to interacting and talk about this man because I'm sick of him. I'm sick of him and I'm sick of him. Okay? Okay. And I'll see you guys in the next video. You know I love each and every one of you immensely. Oh, did y'all see that? I punched myself in the mouth with my thumb and got lipstick on it. Okay. Okay, maybe I'm just that black. Okay, don't pay me no mind, y'all. I'll see y'all in the next video. Wakanda forever. Peace.